Buddy, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Tony Tone's World Podcast. I am your host, Tony Tone, and we've got a couple of things to talk about today. Uh, so, hopefully, everybody's doing well. I know today these times are pretty weird. These times are pretty hard on some people. Some people haven't even been affected by it at all. Whether their job or whatever they're doing in life, it just doesn't affect them as much if you're in a remote part of the country. But for probably most of us, it's been pretty difficult, or a little bit change of pace for sure. Uh, if you follow me, if you follow my page, I haven't really posted nothing. I haven't really done anything, and I got in this little funk last week, and I'm not really sure how it came about. Just I think large part of it is my sleeping. My sleeping habits has been horrible, off the walls, just horrible. Uh, fucking what not going to bed till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, so forth. That is not good for you at all. I mean, unless you're working third shift, but for me personally, I'm not. So having those sleeping hours and then not sleeping as much and waking up groggy, tired, and so forth, to just the combination of just making you feel like shit. And so, with that being said, I just kind of last week I got in this funk. I'd wake up, I'd be all right, and then at night I'd be fine. I'm wide awake. I'm ready to do whatever I'm doing. Just I got X amount of hobbies that I'm trying to get into now, which is well, I'll get to that point, but it isn't well for my psyche. It isn't well for me to be here for my kids, be here for my family, and it's just me sleeping throughout, catching a late nap in the afternoon or right before dinner or whatever the case may be. Is just isn't the ideal time to do that. So I'm trying to work on that. But with that being said, not those late hours, staying up that late at night. I'm 31 years old. And I can't be doing that shit. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't just spring. I'm not a spring chicken in the morning anymore. I'm a grumpy old man. I'm starting to become a grumpy old man. So, uh, it got me into this funk where I wasn't motivated to do much of anything. I really wasn't. I'd wake up, midday, and not midday, but I wake up groggy. I wouldn't start getting going until late afternoon. But so, and with that said, I don't know. I just kept pushing off the podcast. Just kept pushing off bunch of other things, and so hopefully I'm going to try to snap myself out of that. And even then, like I spoke about in the last couple of episodes, to try to keep yourself, keep your mind off of things, or try to do some sort of fitness. Try to, for me, that's like I said in previous um, episodes, that's where I what I love to do, and I feel clear minded and not so foggy and so forth. But even last week, I just wasn't into it. I just wasn't. I don't know, just wasn't into it. And then a mixture of the weather in Chicagoland area just sucks. Fucking rain. I think it even snowed last time. Between the time we talked and now, it snowed one day, and then gave us like 70-degree weather the following day, and it's just kind of been shitty. So, mixture of the weather and me not sleeping right, and then well, the big news is they extended the fucking shelter at home, which I'm not really a big fan of. I understand it's still pretty crazy out there, but I don't know. I'm not. I want to say I'm ready to risk it all and just fucking let's open up like Georgia and so forth. But that'd be dumb on my part to say that. Fully believe in it, I guess. So I guess do what you got to do. But man, I'm so ready to be out of this. Just go back to our normal lives, which whatever. We don't know what will be normal. Are we still going to be wearing masks in July, August, September? I have my sister's wedding and later this year. Is that I believe it's going to happen, and I don't see why it wouldn't happen. But if they're thinking about the second wave of whatever they're talking about, which I don't know if they really, they're playing the what if game, and that's a very hard game to. It's very. I hate that game. It's so many so many things can go into the what if game, and you just never know what the fuck's gonna happen. So I don't like playing that game. But they said if what if second wave hits, and then so is that like what the fuck does that mean? Does that mean we're gonna be locked down in late winter, late fall? I hope not. You know, um, so we'll see what the new normal brings us. I went to the store recently. As May 1st in Illinois, you have to wear a mask when you're outside, and I've been wearing masks for quite some time now, so I'm not really worried about that. That doesn't really change the my my personal preference or whatever the case is. But I still go to the I'll travel 20-30 minutes out west uh towards west of Illinois, and there's people out there just they don't have no mask, they have no gloves on. It's like they don't it doesn't affect them. And granted, the numbers aren't as bad as they are towards the city of Chicago, so I get it. But I don't know. Like it's hard for one person or the government to say, "Hey, this is the rule for all of Illinois," and I'm this specifically for Illinois. I'm sure it's the same part for for every single state. There are remote areas where this COVID-19 won't affect the population as much as it does in such a dense area like Chicago or like New York City or whatever the case is. So it'll be interesting to see if people actually follow these rules. If what happens if you don't, you forget your mask at home, or if people just straight up just don't follow it. Uh, it'll be interesting to see what kind of repercussions happen. But it's a slippery slope. You got this authoritarian like view, this like you can see how fast the government can like put a rule down, and then like we're just kind of hopeless as citizens to kind of have to obey it, and it's a slippery slope. And so I know that there are a few governors or mayors in the state of Illinois looking to somehow sue either the state of Illinois or sue Governor Pritzker. I'm not really sure how that works, but for extending the shelter at home. And so I'm interested to see how that plays out. I believe, from what I read, that the governor does have some sort of say where he can actually enforce this rule. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to even try to you know, try to explain it even more. But be on the lookout for that. So as of right now, I think everybody has to stay at home. It's till May 30th, which is it sucks, man. It really does. I know the weather's gonna get better. This beginning of baseball season, we should be in fucking baseball season. Go Cubs! But not middle, but beginning of baseball season, and it's a great time to be outside. It's springtime. We all been cooped up inside, and so needless to say, this whole shelter at home for I would say last week for sure has been a little bit more difficult on myself than probably my kids or maybe even my wife. I don't, even my wife thinks that we all need our own space. We need to get the fuck out of here and do blah 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 blah. So hopefully with the weather coming up, that's hopefully supposed to be nicer. We'll be able to get out, maybe uh, go on some trails or whatever the case is. They're opening up state parks. I know they're opening up golfing for twosomes, which will be interesting. I love golf. I've been looking at this driver that I want to buy. My buddy has a driver, a pink driver, and I hit that shit very well. I hit it straight down the fairway. Uh, I actually wanted to buy one on eBay, but the case is, for me, I don't necessarily know. No, I want to be fitted right. I don't want to buy the actual club and then all of a sudden have to go back to Dick's or go back to a golf store and get refitted and then spend X amount of money on doing that. So I think I'm just gonna wait it out and buy the driver then. But I'm excited to go golfing. They said that they're going to enforce a 6 foot rule, which would be interesting to see how that 6 foot rule is in the twosome. If you're playing best ball, I'm assuming there's going to be a shitload of golfers out there the first, X amount of weeks. So most clubs are doing twosomes every 15 minutes, but you can only walk. Now, if that's the case, then I know I have buddies and even myself. You shank a ball left, you hook it right, you'll be in the bushes for about 10 minutes. So uh, it's going to be very, very close knit group timing. And so I'm assuming that some people will probably have to play best ball. And there's no way to not be 6 feet away from somebody when they're when you're playing best ball. So uh, I don't think that rule, it's going to be it's going to be recommended. It's going to be supposedly enforced, but I'm pretty sure my guys are going to probably be sending us snaps or Instagram videos of people doing shotguns and shit like that. So uh, I'm excited to go golfing. I really am. I think it'll be some time away, just to get out, enjoy the weather and shit like that. Take my kids even golfing. I'll take my little girl golfing. We recently just went fishing. Didn't catch shit. I'm pretty sure they took all the fish out that damn river, but we recently went fishing, and we'll probably go again this week too as well. But it was just even good just to get out and do that, just a simple shit. Um, saw a lot of people running, biking again, like always, so that's good to see. Uh, Not a lot of people were wearing masks, and I'm not sure. Are you supposed to wear masks when you're exercising outside? I don't think so. That kind of seems weird, but when you're on a very busy trail, you can definitely bump into multiple people at once. And so I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think uh, I think just the weather here. You see people in California. We got family in California. We got friends in California. It's fucking 90 degrees out there. They're in their pools and shit like that. So, man, this shit's not only have I thought about fucking moving since I've been on lockdown. I want to go back to a warmer state like California, maybe, but it's so damn expensive. Uh, I bought new fishing gear, so got that. I've recently picked up this computer kit where I want to build my own computer, and I kind of started doing that. So, uh, and then before that, I even had that whiskey habit that I was buying whiskey every freaking week, and plan on going tomorrow to see if I can get this one bottle that's supposed to be coming out next month or the beginning of May. So we'll see if I can pick one of those bottles up. But I don't know. I'm just finding just every day I find something new that I can and dive into and take my mind off of it, which can be good, but which can also be bad. Like at the end of the day, this shit will pass, right? At the end of the day, we'll get out of this whole thing. We'll hopefully for the most part, hopefully everybody that I know, or hopefully there's a lot of people have died from this COVID, but hopefully everybody that I know stays alive and is healthy and so forth. So what the fuck? At the end of the day, I'm gonna at the end of the summer, I'm gonna have a bunch of fishing gear, a lot of whiskey, and I'm gonna have the souped up computer that hopefully I stick to. I think I am gonna stick to it just because I purposely bought this thing so I can do some more computer shit for the podcast. So it's just interesting how I've managed to keep myself busy, which is kind of costly. So I got to definitely stop spending so much money. And you know, it's not even me, just my wife too. Shows Amazon, Target, you name it, there's always packages at the door. And so it is what it is. Fortunately, we both have our jobs, and that Trump stimulus check definitely helped for sure. But we're getting through it. I think we bought this little machine, this cardio machine, which we're both happy that we bought. And so it's just another thing to keep our mind busy. um I think last episode I had talked about, or 2 episodes I had talked about having a birthday around this time, and unfortunately, it's actually gonna hit my family. My one of my daughters is 2. She'll be turning 3 in May, early part of May. And so I'm in this situation where she's gonna be 3, right? She's gonna want presents. She'll get presents no matter what. That's not the issue. Issue is, though, she knows that it's gonna be her birthday. She knows that she should have a birthday party. She knows that people should be there. People should be, singing happy birthday to her and so forth. And it's she understands. She's not that naive or dumb. So how do I explain what the heck is going on to her for her to understand that nobody's going to be coming over? Do I not tell her? And hopefully she just doesn't realize it because the presents that we got her and so forth. or do I try to explain it to her now to prepare for then? I don't know. And then like you see all these COVID like parades for birthday parties, which is great. I mean, that's a great idea. That's awesome. To for and if you don't know, it's basically your family, your friends. They get in their cars and they slowly do a parade in front of that person's house, honk the horn, make streamers, balloons, and blah 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 blah. Maybe drop off presents or whatever the case is. Do we do that? But then I know for a fact she's gonna want to be like, hey, why aren't they stopping? Why aren't they coming into the house, or why aren't they you know whatever the case is. So I don't know, it's a little tricky situation. If it's my older daughter, she understands. She understands what's going on. So that's it's easier. But for a 3 year old, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. And then like we're gonna have I think we'll probably have a Zoom call, a family Zoom call. Zoom is pretty cool. Zoom we've had several. I've had several calls with friends and family, and it's cool. At first it was cooler than it is now. Now it's more of like me personally. I think it just reminds me of the fact that we're in this shitty pandemic shelter in place thing, because nobody wants to have this many conference calls or webcams or whatever video calls, X amount of days. So uh I don't know. I'll figure what I'll do with my daughter. I'm not really sure yet. It's not that I don't know. We'll make the best of it. We'll decorate the house, and we both got her a shitload of presents, and she'll be taken care of, and I'm sure she'll get presents in the mail and so forth. But it just sucks not to be able to see your daughter have her birthday with family and friends in you know, actual life, or whatever you want to call it. And then my second one is my wife. She'll have her birthday at the end of May as well. And obviously I don't gotta explain to her what's going on, but it's even go out to like nice fancy dinner, or whatever it is, it's just it's shitty. So we'll probably have to prolong. Maybe we'll have something here, obviously, for their birthdays, and maybe in June we'll do something, or July or something. I don't know. We'll see. But it is what it is. It sucks. So I have other buddies that have been in the same situation. And, granted, the kids are older, so it'll be interesting to see how my young one does. My older one, though, she at first she was having not the toughest, but she was okay. She was okay at school, and then like maybe last week and the week before, and maybe it was the vibes I was giving off. Maybe it was me not, me being lazy, me not being, all the way there, fully there. But she kind of put that, and I read articles as well, but she kind of put school to the side. She kind of put like just it's summer vacation basically. And so to kind of explain to her to, you have to push through, you have to figure it out. If it's a little difficult to teach yourself sometimes. Even with this podcast shit, I'm teaching my own self. But for an 11-year-old to teach her own self how to do research, or find exactly what she is looking for, to complete her assignments, to do her quizzes and so forth, and keep a schedule. When you're in school, you just go from one class to another class to another class to another class. But for here, like now, you have to like keep an online like schedule, like a grown up basically. And so she kind of let the ball. She kind of let it slip a little bit, but now she's back on track. So I don't think I'll have any more issues with that. But just read articles. There's all types of kids out there basically just not even don't even care about school. They don't, they're just basically on summer vacation. And then like first graders, second graders, third graders, kindergartner, kindergartners, uh, it is like summer vacation, the adults have to basically, the parents have to teach the kids and so forth. But fortunately for my situation, we're both here, so we can kind of both help. Granted, more my wife, but we're both here. And so, but what about people that are out there with no adult supervision? People that their dad or mom are working, opposite shifts, like my parents used to do. you didn't really have that supervision. I don't know what I would do if this shit was happened in 98, 2000, if this pandemic happened then. There was no internet, there was nothing to you literally had to all I was doing was outside with my friends hanging out. And if you told me I couldn't do that shit, I don't know what the fuck. I'd have been playing Sega Genesis for I probably had broken Sega Genesis by that time. Um NBA Jam, which is a great fucking game. Back in the day. I used to play NBA Jam, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, I had Lion King. I had them all. I had all the games. I still do actually. Great fucking games. But yeah, I don't know what I would do back in the day. Back in the day you had party lines. I'm not sure if you know what a party line is. It was basically like a hotline, like a 1-800 number. You call and you basically you'd state your name and then you'd like uh what was it? You'd state your name and then like you kind of like join this big group chat and then like basically you're on there trying to find chicks, right? Or just talk to chicks and talk shit and make fun of people or whatever the case is. And uh, that was back around the Jerky Boy days. I'm not sure if you know what the Jerky Boy days, but basically they were just people that would just make prank calls and shit and make and record them and then put them out on the internet and shit like that. The CKY days. Uh, but yeah, I'm not really sure what else I would play. Sega, do prank calls, uh, internet. We did actually have internet back in the day. We had dial up. Remember that shit? Bearshare, LimeWire, recording one song. It'd take a day to download one song. I think it was like, what was it? The Usher song? Oh yeah, with Lil Jon, or yeah, by Lil Jon and Usher. Back in the day, that would take like a day to download. Imagine that having those type of download speeds now. It'd be crazy. I'd go nuts. I'd go absolutely nuts. And I get mad when my phone doesn't load up or my game doesn't download quick enough within 10 minutes or whatever the case is. But a whole day, that shit was crazy. And then you can only do one at a time, because if you did three, then it'd take that much longer. uh AOL chat rooms, those chat rooms were lit back in the day, putting those little bots up. But I don't know, there's only so much you could do inside the house when I was younger. Basically, like, we didn't have I don't know. I didn't have much to like keep myself busy that much. I'd watch a shitload of TV, but that's about it. I didn't have nothing much else, so I just hang out with the guys. We'd hang outside, but yeah, I couldn't even imagine if this shit was back in the day. So I'm kind of, I'm glad it's not. I'm not glad, but I can, it's a lot easier to entertain myself now than it is from back then. Um. So yeah, I think. Oh, one thing I want to bring up: the Chicago Bulls documentary, The Last Dance, is amazing. That's pretty much, you know, when that first fucking episode came on and the second episode came on that first Sunday, that was fucking amazing. Like, it just brought back memories. It was a 97, 98. I was a young kid. I still remember that season, but I don't remember anything before that. I remember Jordan going to play with the White Sox. I remember the headlines, but I don't remember watching them or anything like that. I'm 31 years old, but I do have memories of the the last dance, if you want to call it that. And one of the things, it's such a small detail, and it's probably stupid as hell, but as a kid growing up, when you saw the worm come out and Dennis Rodman had his fucking hair, you know, um, colored in different ways, that was probably one of the best. For me, the person that was awesome. That was awesome to see. And I remember distinctly. Remember watching him come out, and he had, for what I thought was a cheetah print on his fucking head. In the documentary, it was 33s, and that just blew my mind. Blew my damn mind. So it's so stupid to even say that, but I thought it was pretty cool. Another thing that blew my mind was the Jerry Krause Space Jam link. The guy, I don't remember his name because let me see. Let me see. fuck it. I don't really want to do it. Fuck it. The Space Jam guy, the general manager for the Space Jam guy, and the Jerry Krause link. I thought that was pretty cool. That how they linked Jerry Krause to being the same guy as the general manager of the Space Jam team. Um, I just found that. I mean, I just found that funny and pretty cool. I didn't realize Jerry Krause was such an asshole. In some, Scottie Pippen not being paid that X amount of money that he was supposed to be paid for, again, that he wasn't even top 20. He was at the bottom of the list, and so with him not even being paid, that was shitty for him to just call the shot, saying Phil Jackson's last time being there. Um, the way he would treat players. But then again, like Scotty and Jordan, they would give it right back to him. So I wish we could hear what they would say to him. Specifically some audio recordings. But the whole damn documentary is pretty fucking cool. I look forward to it every fucking. I look forward to every Sunday. Uh, Recently, Toni Kukoc came out and kind of backed Jerry Krause, and I understand why he did it because Jerry Krause was the one that found him, and I guess from what I read, like Toni Kukoc was kind of hazed basically by Jordan and Scotty, more so by Jordan, for when he was at first on the team and so forth, and kind of broke his balls and shit like that. So, interested to see what happens. Like in the doc, I know they're going to be bringing that out. They built the documentary around Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Kukoc, Jerry, Phil Jackson, and Steve Kerr. I think the next episodes are about Jordan rising up to stardom, and then the preview for the sixth episode is him kind of dealing with him and falling down from stardom and so forth. So I'm, just like anybody else, we're all ecstatic we're all excited about this shit. The Rodman days, man. Carmen Electra is a fucking smoke show, straight smoke show. Still to this day, smoke show. Um, Apparently, I listened to ESPN and I had thought in the documentary they stated that Jordan went to Vegas and woke Dennis Rodman up, and Carmen Electra was behind the chair or whatever it is. But apparently, from what the director said, that it was kind of misleading or misconstrued, that it was actually he woke up Dennis Rodman from his apartment, because back in the day, Dennis Rodman used to live across the street from the stadium, and so he got back from Vegas. He wanted to have basically like a staycation, and that's when Jordan and then would they say Jordan and I think it was a personal trainer maybe went over there and basically woke him up. But so it was in Chicago, not Vegas, that happened. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they put that in the documentary. Maybe off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think it was Carmen Electra and Jordan that both stated that it happened, but I'm not sure who said that they went to Vegas. But either way, just waking up Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra is pretty badass. But uh, Jordan coming out saying before the whole documentary, he had stated that uh, people weren't going to like him, that he was going to look like a dick basically. And personally, I don't feel like that's true at all. If anything, I like him even more. His drive, his clutchness for sure, obviously. Uh, his ownership, he would put people in check. If you're garbage and you're not owning up to your playing ability, then he'd put you in check. His tenacity on defense and practice and so forth, his willing to keep pushing and just not giving a fuck. I loved it, and I don't. I'm sure there'll probably be some point in the documentary where he'll talk about why I would assume that he would talk about saying that Scottie Pippen was selfish for sitting out. But so far it hasn't come up, so we'll see. But I think Scottie Pippen definitely got the short end of that stick, man. That sucks. Sitting out all that fucking, or postponing your surgery, sitting out the season, and then having to like basically do the walk of shame back to the organization or the team because he didn't get paid, but he ended up getting paid at the end of his end of his career. He ended up fucking getting paid, so don't worry about that. He definitely got fucking paid. But yeah, I just find the entire thing fascinating. Dennis Rodman. They have this like little montage of Dennis Rodman. I'm sure anybody listening to this right now probably watched the fucking documentary. But when the Dennis Rodman is talking about a rebound, just basically like how the ball rotation and how it spins and so forth, and how basically like giving game on how to learn how to rebound the ball, and putting your body in the certain position to grab those balls and so forth. So I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't watch 30 for 30 on the Bad Boys, but I am going to go watch that. I think that's pretty interesting. I want to see what those are about. Back in the day, I remember that type of basketball. That's the basketball I remember, and I kind of feel like an old head even saying that shit right now. But somebody comes in the fucking lane, they go in and they score, bam, whatever. But then they keep doing that shit. You gotta lay them on their ass, basically. That's Bill Lambier would do that shit. Uh, Cartwright would do that shit. All the big guys back in the day, and that's kind of how I remember it. It was a tough, grittier basketball league. It was a lot more shit talking, a lot more, just gritty, just a little bit more, maybe not fights, but just more aggressive. Whereas nowadays, it's I don't know, it's not, it's more about like 3-point shots, and it's more flashiness and shit like that, and shoes and shit like everybody has to have their signature line shoes, which I don't believe every player needs to have a fucking signature shoe because let's be honest, some of these players are trash and they have signature shoes and signature, uh, you know, playing abilities. So but that's something else. So it's just a difference. So you just have a difference of eras. A lot of people, if you're a Kobe fan, he's the greatest of all time. LeBron fan, greatest of all time. It's just a generational thing. I think if I had to ever, put it, I don't even want to know. I would say Michael's number one, but I don't know who's going to be number two. At the end of the day, LeBron's not done, but Kobe was a hell of a player, and I never liked Kobe back in the day. But towards the end of his career, and when I moved back out to Chicago, I realized, man, you can't hate on game, and Kobe was Kobe, so he was a beast. Uh, Let me see what else was Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson himself was basically a hippie, and that was pretty cool to see. And he was a good baller too. So everything so far about this fucking documentary is awesome. From the music to the production to the editing to the transitioning to everything about it. It's just amazing. And it hit me today that it was a 10-part episode, and they're like 10 hours documentary. I'm like, holy shit, this is 10 hours. And that's whatever. Nowadays we all binge watch fucking seasons and stuff like that. Netflix, which by the way, my new show right now is Money Heist on Netflix. I'm a little late to the game, but I think they're on the 5th season. And I just started season 2. But Money Heist is pretty badass. If you ever watch Prison Break on Fox, it's kind of like that. It keeps you on your toes, so I like it. But anyways, yeah, so it's gonna be 10 hours long at the end of the day. So I'll definitely have to rewatch this entire thing once it comes out, and binge watch the entire thing. So it'll be pretty cool. I try to get my daughters to watch that shit. Not shit, but I try to get my daughters to watch the documentary. They weren't having that shit. Nah, they didn't fuck. So yeah, I think with this documentary, it's been it's time consuming, so it's definitely helped. Um, but again, my ass stays up until fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'll wake up the next day and I'm fucking just feeling groggy. So I gotta make that transition to not stop doing that shit. Um, I'm sure I'm not the only person doing that right now. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person feeling the same way. Oh man, but man, what's it gonna be like? First family party, first party that you go to, first gathering, first whatever. They cancel all summer events in Chicago, or I know Chicago. I'm not sure of all of Illinois, but Chicago for sure. that sucks. Watching the 4th of July, and so forth, and all the parades and Labor Day, Memorial Day shit, and I don't know. I'm excited as from the last time we spoke, so much has happened, politically, and then from now, from 2 weeks from now, who's to say if something else doesn't happen? So we'll see. Um, but yeah, I think. So I'm buying this computer, right? And I don't know if you have a computer, let me know. I'm gonna build my own, and I'm actually have the parts already. I've never put a computer together at all, ever. So I basically learned off the same way learned how to do this podcast is YouTube. And so I'm gonna build my own computer. I know I need to have some sort of tapes. I probably best to get a couple of screwdrivers with the magnetic tips, but it'll be interesting to see if I can do this. Hopefully I can. I mean, if I not, then I'd be pissed off because that's a lot of money down the drain, or for that part or whatever it is. But yeah, it'll be exciting. I'm trying to think what else we got going on. We don't got much else going on. Everybody else is pretty much staying put. We had my parents come over the other day. Well, not had, but they visited the other day, and we had some drinks with them. We were outside in the backyard, and we were keeping our social distancing. It was kind of weird. I knew they were coming over, so I put a cooler out next to the patio furniture, and I put the furniture like 10 feet away from us, and basically I had their whole little corner set up with their booze and the chairs and stuff, and we stand on the other side and kind of just drank and talked for like 3 hours, and it was relaxing, and it was comforting. It was good to see them. It was good to catch up, and we took those moments for granted back in the day, or not back in the day, but a couple months ago, and so it'll be good once all this shit's over to finally be able to do that shit without having to social distance. And mind you, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten away without social distance. Like, I don't fear that my parents would ever catch anything, but you never know. You don't want to be the person to give anybody else anything, or vice versa. So uh it was a good time. So and that was another idea for my daughter's birthday, to kind of do that with my immediate family, but I'm not sure if that's going to actually happen or not, because more people means more risk, and not sure if it's worth the reward. So we'll see. I've also thought about looking at getting another dog. I probably won't do it, but I don't know, man. I'm just buying everything right now for some dumbass reason. I just need to relax, calm the fuck down. But yeah, I think we'll be all. Well, I think everybody will be fine. I think we'll be all good to go after all this is done. Hopefully, they have some sort of cure for this shit, like a flu shot. And I'm sure the conspiracy theories out there will be another fucking vaccination, and how we shouldn't take the vaccinations and so forth. And I think I'm pro-vaccination. I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah, I mean, I'll take them when I have to, but do I take a flu shot every year? I think the last 5 years I've only taken them 3 or something like that. But I don't know. I don't want this shit to happen again. So if it's gonna help, and for sure help, then I'm gonna listen to my wife because she's a nurse. But if it helps, then fuck it, I'll take it. But hopefully they find the vaccination pretty quickly here, so we can all get back to our normal lives. Because I'm fucking hurting. I'm planning. Another thing I want to get into is a shooting. I want to fucking plan a hunting trip. That would be pretty cool. I've never hunted in my life, so I don't even know where to start. I know they have guided hunting trips in Wisconsin, and I'm pretty sure they have them probably out here in Illinois too. I just don't know where, but I want to go hunting. I want to go on a hunting trip. I want to specifically maybe deer, some sort of meat. And that was actually my goal to do it this fall, but I don't even think that'll happen now. So we'll see. Maybe I have to prolong that too as well now. That kind of sucks because that just dawned on me, but definitely they say I'm the best shooter in the Midwest, so we'll see. If you see my name out there anywhere, that's what they'll say about me. Is I'm smoking gun Tony Tone, the smoking gun. Um, but yeah, I think I want to invest some more time and try to figure out how to hunt. I have never gave up on my animation aspirations from last episode. I just kind of put that on pause because I was just spending way too much computer time from work and from doing that shit. It's just put it on pause, so I can always pick that shit back up later. But yeah, hunting, fishing. Basically, I want to go back to becoming a caveman, learning all my primal instincts. No, I'm just playing. But next thing I'll be doing is making my own beer. That'd be pretty cool to make your own beer, or vodka, or tequila, or whiskey. Even whiskey, that'd be dope as fuck. Um, but that won't happen anytime soon. But yeah, but I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody giving me a listen. You know, we'll keep going. We'll keep doing the damn thing. I can't wait for this shit to be over. Can't wait to have guests on. Can't wait to get drunk with the guys. Just can't wait. Can't wait for this shit to be over with. So until next time, I appreciate everybody listening. Hopefully, everybody stays happy, healthy, stay positive. And that's about it. Talk to you later.